Mr. Kwelewura, over to you, sir.
Good morning, everyone throughout the world who are listening to us. I am privileged to be here today to advance the cause of the president of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators, Mrs. Fumi Ekundayo, FCIS, and the governing council of the Institute. I'll begin by letting you know a little bit of background to this today's event. As a corporate governance leader in the country, the ICSAN Governing Council, led by its president, Mrs. Fumi Ekundayo, FCIS, inaugurated 13 sectoral groups, which I am privileged to be the coordinating chair. These groups are peopled by both members and other professionals who are experts in their various fields to come together, strategize, research, and engage with a view to offer solutions to various challenges facing the government, the economy, and various industry as part of the Institute's contribution to the welfare of the nation. This made her on the 19th of September to inaugurate the 13 sectoral groups. I will just mention a few of the sectoral groups that are that compose the 13. One is the energy sector. Energy sector is being led by, as a chairperson, Mrs. Marilyn Chinyere Eze, FCIS, and vice chairman is there too with her. We have the logistics sector. This is Bumi Adefulu, FCIS, is the chairperson of that sectoral group. We have assisting Marilyn Eze there. Okay, I want to mention media and creative sector too, being chaired by Dr. Wahid Olagunju. The vice chairman there is Mrs. Yewande Olumeyo. The logistics is Mrs. Bumi Adefulu, as I said before, vice chair, Anyawocha Chukudi, that's the vice. Now we have the one that we have today, which is the digital economy group. This group is being led by Sheyi Abiodun and Mrs. Willoughby is the vice chairperson. I just mentioned these few to let you know how we are functioning. As I said to you, the sectoral group was set up to make sure that we offer solutions. We strategize and do it by way of communicate even to the government. Whatever activities that these sectoral groups are doing, we make it public to enable solution be proffered for, especially in governance, every areas of governance for the welfare of the people. Now, digital economy on its own, which we are having today, is not just there for its own. Digital economy is said to be one collective term for all economic activities or transactions that occur on internet. It is also known as the web economy or the internet economy. It provides numerous solutions and benefits which have contributed to its rapid expansion and positive effects on a variety of industries, For example, increased productivity. And I'm not an expert in this at all, but we have people who will be talking about this, a global expert in this, and that will be introduced by the chairman of the Digital Economic Group, Sheyi Abiodun. I will stop here so that I don't do the job that is not allotted to me. I'm privileged to be the chairman of the sectors. And I want to salute the activities, the courage, and of the president, our president, Fumi Ekundayo, and our team who gave us marching order to make these groups function, perform on a sustainable trajectory. I pause for a while. Mr. Registrar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Everybody,
at this juncture, I want to invite Madam President, Chairman, Governing Council of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, Mrs. Fumi Ekundayo, FCIS, to make her address. Thank you, ma'am. Madam President. Hello, ma'am. Hello, Madam President.
Okay. Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am. You're audible, ma'am.
All right. Host was preventing me from unmuting, so I'm glad you can hear me now. All right. Good morning, everyone. Let me start on a very light note. Our registrar CEO, you seem to be like an army general without his troops within. You look so lonely in that council chamber. Why are you the only one there? Okay, that's just by the way. Good morning, governance professionals. I'd like to say a big thank you to the chairman of the sectorial groups of ICSAN, who just left the floor before I came on board, Mr. Babatunde Pelewura, FCIS. He has actually set a brilliant tone for us as we commence this webinar this morning. I'd like to acknowledge our amiable Vice President, Mrs. Uto Upana, FCIS. Welcome back, madam. You're looking really fresh. Relax. All right, welcome back. I also saw the honorary treasurer, yes, Mr. Francis Olawale, FCIS. You're most warmly acknowledged. Our immediate past president, Mr. Taiwo Bengawo Kalade, I'm sure will be joining us soon as well. I would also like to acknowledge some council members who are here with us. I see a number of them, and I'm sure that the registrar will take time to acknowledge them as we go along. Ms. Ronke Okpajobi, FCIS, I see you, and I'm sure others will join us as we move on. Our guest speaker for today, Professor O.O. Olugbara. Thank you so much, sir. You joined pretty early. I saw you as early as 9:45. Thank you for joining in good time, and we look forward to what you have for us today. Members of the Digital Economy Sectorial Group, fellow charter secretaries and administrators, members of the Fourth Estate of the Realm, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is my very brief welcome address, which I'm meant to deliver in the next 10 minutes, and I'll try and keep to my time. So it is my singular honor today to welcome you all very warmly to this important webinar on digital economy, organized by one of our various sectorial groups, the Digital Economy Sectorial Group of our great institute, the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN. As you have heard from the chairman of the sectorial groups who spoke earlier, the sectorial groups were created by the institute, were established And the rationale behind this establishment is to constitute our diverse members from different callings and sectors into effective, pragmatic, and efficient cells that would operate as parts of the organic whole in the pursuit of our collective mission and vision as an institute. These sectoral groups regularly come up with innovative initiatives and discussions around diverse issues pertaining to their sector in particular, and also with respect to national economic progress and sustainable development in general. Today's discourse, I believe, will not be any different, as we'll be ensuring that we get maximum benefits from today's engagement. Now, coming to the theme of today's webinar, digitization of economy in society 5.0. This is a theme that is as interesting as it is pragmatic. In the light of sundry challenges facing our nation today, envisioning a transition to a society 5.0 could affect the requisite paradigm shift to an auspicious, economically sound, and technologically aided sustainable practices by all stakeholders. By way of preamble, the superintelligent society, which is usually referred to as Society 5.0, was spearheaded by the Japanese government in January 2016, when it unfolded its 5-year development plan called Fifth Basic Plan for Science and Technology 2016 to 2020. It is a technology-based, human-centric society, and the plan envisages an auspicious, seamlessly working and sustainable society through the instrumentality of advanced science and technology. It plans to evolve a human beings-focused society, which is able to solve all social issues with systems developed through the integration of cyberspace and sustainability. In this new socio-economic world order, envisaged as Society 5.0, human problems and challenging social conditions would ideally be solved from new perspectives as different aspects of human existential routines are connected through technologies to form a super-intelligent society. In more specific terms, such a super-intelligent society would boast of a humanized community that balances the resolution of human social challenges, such as population aging, environmental degradation, unemployment, poverty, extreme inequality, vis-a-vis wealth distribution, and wealth concentration, and so on and so forth, with economic progression by using technological innovations to realize a more inclusive, prosperous, equitable, and sustainable world. While the society envisaged in this concept may at present appear utopian, I'm sure we all think so, there is no gainsaying the fact that it is realizable through proper planning, devotion to technology advancement, and mainstreaming of the sustainability ideals in government policy conception and implementation. Since the objective of Society 5.0 is to improve human conditions in all ramifications through phenomenal enhancement of digital and physical infrastructures, we at ICSAN are in full support of the realization of such society. Hence, our choice of this innovative concept as the theme of today's webinar. We believe that offering this platform to discuss issues relating to Society 5.0 will not only enhance awareness on this innovative concept, but it will also give all of us as stakeholders a sense of duty and responsibility that are incumbent upon us in our collective pursuit of this anticipated ideal society. Our resource person who will be providing insight into today's theme is none other than Professor O.O. Olubera, who is an authority on the subject matter, and I am very confident that he will enrich us with insights and perspectives to aid fuller understanding of this interesting concept. I will therefore enjoy you to listen attentively as he makes his presentation. There will be time for questions and answers as usual, and you will have the opportunity at that time to make your observations and also your commentaries. I urge us to judicially utilize the allotted time to deepen our understanding of this subject matter. Before I end this brief welcome address, I would like to thank the Digital Economy Sectoral Group of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ably led by Mr. Oluseyi Abiodun, FCIS, for organizing this highly educative and knowledge-enriching webinar. Once again, I welcome you warmly to this 2024 ICSAN webinar on Society 5.0, and I wish us a very rewarding session. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam President. At this juncture, I want to invite Mr. Oluseyi Abiodun, FCIS, the chairman of the sectoral group, to introduce to us the speaker. He is going to do the citation, introduce him to us, and take us forward as a moderator. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Okuneyo. Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and kindly permit me to stand on the already established protocol while I provide the citation of the guest speaker, Professor O.O. Olugbara. Professor O.O. Olugbara graduated from the University of Ilorin in the year 1991, achieving a first-class Bachelor of Science honors in mathematics. He was thereafter retained by the University of Ilorin to work as a junior research fellow in 1992, after completing the National Youth Service Corps. He registered for a master's degree in mathematics with specialization in computer science at the University of Ilorin in 1993 as a junior research fellow, and completed the degree in 1995. Professor Olugbara also holds a PhD degree in computer science from the University of Zululand in South Africa. Being a retained junior research fellow at the University of Ilorin marked the commencement of his academic career. He was promoted to the position of an assistant lecturer in 1995, lecturer 2 in 1996, and lecturer 1 in 1998. He was appointed lecturer 1 in 2002 by Covenant University in Nigeria, and promoted to the position of a senior lecturer in 2005 at the same university. He was appointed an associate professor in the Department of Information Technology in 2010 at the Durban University of Technology in South Africa, and he became a full professor in the year 2011. He was appointed a visiting professor of computer science in 2015 at Covenant University in Nigeria. The Tianjin Vocational Institute, Tianjin, China, appointed him in 2021 as a mentor of innovation and entrepreneurship for 1 year. He developed a special inclination towards scientific computational methods in the specialized areas of machine learning, image processing, exponential technology, and technology acceptance for the development of a smart society. He is deeply committed to the use of scientific methods to create relevant, insightful, and effective solutions to critical problems facing society. He is engrossed in conducting applied research in the chosen areas of specialization, guiding research projects, and stimulating students to acquire relevant computing skills at undergraduate and postgraduate levels. He has successfully trained over 250 undergraduate degree students, 37 master's degree students, 19 doctorate degree students, and 4 postdoctoral fellows in computer science and information technology. He has so far published more than 200 research papers in national and international journals, books chapters, and conference proceedings. He has attended numerous international conferences and workshops throughout the world and chaired some technical sessions. He is a holder of academic awards and scholarships, including International Federation of Information Processing, sponsored by Microsoft Research, Cambridge in 2007. In 2012, he got the Meritorious Research Paper Award at the International Conference on Machine Learning and Data Analysis, organized by the International Association of Engineers, San Francisco in the United States of America. Is a university scholar at the University of Ilorin, a member of Marquis Who is Who in the world, United States of America, a member of the Association for Computing Machinery, United States, a member of the Computer Society of South Africa, and other academic associations. He was awarded honorary referee of the major International Journal of Science and Technology, Thailand, in the year 2007. He was awarded the Outstanding Scientist in 2015 by the Center for Advanced Research and Design for Venus International Foundation in India. He became an established researcher with the C2 rating category, courtesy of the National Research Foundation, NRF, of South Africa, rating in 2023. He has examined 10 doctoral theses and 14 master's dissertations and assessed numerous applications for professional appointments, both nationally and internationally. He is a reviewer for manifold reputable journals, including the Journal of Computers in Biology and Medicine, Soft Computing, Computer Program and in Biomedicine, International Journal of Computational Vision and Robotics, Journal of Personal and Ubiquitous Computing, Journal of Applied Mathematics, Journal of Agronomy for Sustainable Development, Journal of IT Professional, International Journal of Computational Vision and Robotics, South African Computer Journal, African Journal of Information Systems, Journal of Behavior and Information Technology, Journal of Remote Sensing, Machine Learning and Knowledge Extraction Journal, and Journal of King Saud University in Saudi Arabia. He is a member of the editorial board of Signal and Image Processing, and also a member of the editorial board of the Electronic Journal of Information Systems Evaluation. Professor Olugbara have more than 25 years of computing programming experience in software development, operating systems such as Windows XP and Vista, Linux and SUSE, and many productivity enhancement software tools. Is very versatile in programming languages such as Python, C programming language, C++, and MATLAB. These are his main programming tools for implementing and testing his research ideas. Nevertheless, he uses other computer programming languages and scripts, including C#, Java, HTML, Extensible Markup Language, PHP, Qt, and Carbide C++. He is the founder of ICT and Society, the founder of ICT and Society Niche Research Group at the Durban University of Technology in South Africa. Since 2017, the ICTAS group has been constantly organizing an annual Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineering International Conference that has received global recognition. The conference proceeding articles are indexed by Scopus, IEE Explore, supported by NRF, and approved by DHET for subsistence. And the maiden edition of the conference also received the H6 index by SIMAGO. He is the executive dean of the Faculty of Accounting and Informatics. He is also the MICT research chair at the Center of Excellence in the Fourth Industrial Revolution, Senate representative on the University Council, and a member of several committees of the university, including the executive committee. He is a guest editor on the special issue, Recent Advances in Bioinformatics and Health Informatics by Applied Sciences, Basel in Switzerland. He was one of the 2 faculty staff invited in 2022 for an interview on the Luban workshop across the world by the Eurasia Net, which is an independent news organization in the United States of America that covers news from and about the South Caucasus and Central Asia. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I present to you this day an erudite scholar, a transformative leader, a mentor of mentor, Professor Oludayo Olufolorunsho Olugbara. Prof, you're most welcome, sir. Over to you.
The President and Chairperson of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN, Governing Council, Ms. Fumi Ekundayo, FCIS. The Vice President of ICSAN, Ms. Uto Upana, FCIS. The Honorary Treasurer of ICSAN, Mr. Francis Olawale, FCIS. The Chairperson of ICSAN Sectorial Group, Mr. Babatunde Olewura, FCS. The Registrar / Chief Executive Officer of ICSAN, Mr. Oladipupo Okuneye, ACIS. The Chairman of the ICSAN Digital Economic Sectorial Group, Mr. Oluseyi Abiodun, FCIS, who is also my mentee. I mentored him during his undergraduate days and supervised his thesis in 1998 at the University of Ilorin. I am happy for your success and glory be to God for your achievement. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning and thank you for reposing confidence in me to present at this conference of the Charter Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria. I'm highly honored and happy to present on this topical themes of digital economy and society 5.0. I am presenting virtually from our MIC CITAL's 4IR Center of Excellence at Durban University of Technology in South Africa. I would have loved to be with you physically, but unfortunately, technology also has helped us to obviously become one global world. I'm excited to have with me some of our staff and students working at the MIC CITAL for our Center of Excellence. Once again, good morning and thank you. So thank you very much, and I'd like to present this morning on the topic of digitalization of economy in society 5.0. And to do this, I've decided to follow to implement the following outline, which I'll be using. First, I'll do an introduction and explain the connotation of society 5.0, and then move to explaining the idea of digital economy, and then explain artificial intelligence, and then show some examples and recommendations in form of strategies. Now, as I've been alluded to, there are quite a number of problems confronting human today. And then some people obviously said, maybe we have to move from this planet and then go to elsewhere, maybe we go to metaverse, or we go to the moon. So, and many of these challenges have led to crimes in society. And then what do we do about these challenges? So we assume that if we're able to address these challenges, something like poverty, unemployment, inequality, aging population, and wealth concentration, if we're able to address this problem in society, then it's likely that crimes in our society will be things of the past. And that's why effort focus on those challenges. United Nations actually came up with the idea of 17 development goals, that if we're able to sustain, if we're able to address all these goals and implement them, then it's possible that we are going to have a better, peaceful, and more prosperous society or world at large. So these are obviously 17 development goals. Then to address these problems through these development goals, there are two solutions I've seen. And then some people also believe that technology and education are the two forces to obviously address most of these challenges. And of course, education and industrial revolution, as we know, what we are very familiar with is industrial revolution, 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and so forth. But for every industrial revolution, there's equivalent educational revolution. So when we had industrial revolution 1, the equivalent education revolution is education 1.0, and today we are in the generation of industrial revolution 5, and then the corresponding education is education 5.0. These two together, the blend of these two together constitute what we call society 5.0. So through technology and education, we are able to address the challenges facing humankind. Then the idea of digitization of economy simply means that we are able to digitize every economy, beginning from production, distribution, consumption, and of course, trade. And once we do that, then we are likely to have a better society for all. The idea of Industry 5.0 is what the Japanese government refers to as super intelligence. And then the idea is that we will be able to address all the sustainable development goals through these concepts. And of course, it is a direct support of Japanese for the United Nations FGS. And then we know that in 2025, a conference entitled Designing Future Society for Our Lives, taking place in Osaka, in Japan. Society 5.0 builds on innovation of previous societies, 1.0, 2.0. Of course, 1.0 is the hunter-gatherer generation. That's the generation of Adam and Eve, where the main functionality of mankind is hunting. My grandfather was a hunter. So, and I remember my father told me the story that my father killed 31 elephants, and the last one he killed was the largest, which was used to name me for my naming ceremony. And that one was the largest of all. And they killed that elephant using cutlass and not gun. Very exciting. So Industrial 2.0 is the era of agriculture, where we provide food for everyone. And of course, 3.0 is industrialization. 4.0 is information. And now we're in the new generation 5.0, which is for human. So it's an economic strategy focused on the co-development of innovation to accelerate progress and achieving very strong sustainability. It uses advanced technology like we have known, many of them, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, robotics, additive manufacturing, cloud, sensor, and so many of them. But the key concept here is to actually solve the inherent challenges of mankind using technology. And of course, I'm going to be showing later that artificial intelligence is the basis for all this innovative technology. So it requires every element of our society to be built as a digital twin that obviously integrates cyberspace and then certain structures in terms of our systems, processes, business, and reflect those developments in the physical space. It is aimed to create a super intelligent society that values inclusivity of all man, healthcare for all, and of course, development by integrating advanced technology, as we have mentioned, so that we can improve and sustain lives and livelihood, and of course, environmental sustainability. So through this process, we're able to address some of those challenges that I have discussed. Then, this form of society has quite a number of benefits, but I'll just emphasize on just very few of them, like comes with new skills. People have been scared that for this society will take job from them. It doesn't take job from people. To only make people better, obviously, in almost everything that man do, including government, and so on and so forth. Now, after Society 5.0 comes digital economy. Digital economy is well positioned as a form of tools for the development of Society 5.0. And of course, it also comes with so solutions like future economies. I will just mention a few of them. And then future economies will include things like digital economy, experience economy, sharing on excess capacity economy, gig economy, purpose economy, and circular economy. But the most important of all of them, which is foundation for other forms of economy, is digital economy. Henceforth, my focus this morning will be on digital economy and society 5.0. So these economies are expected to alter the human understanding of political economy, which is the integration of wealth generation and wealth concentration, and of course, improve life and livelihood of mankind. So societies, business, government will play new roles when the future economy eventually evolves. So there will be new roles that government, society, business, and individual will play in this form of society. So we can look at digital economy as a portmanteau of digital computing economy. For those of you who are very familiar with programming or code development in the ICT. So when we combine that with economy, then we have digital economy. And of course, it promises to change the world and then transform how resources are converted in value creation outcomes and influences the other future economy components. So we expect that this concept will redefine our worldview on how to use resources, how to manage resources, and of course, to eventually address societal challenges. So it has three main layers. The first layer is called foundational. The second layer is called innovation ecosystem. And of course, the third layer is called economic sectors. And these layers include the basic cores of infrastructure, regulations and policy, and of course, skills. So infrastructure is very important in this form of society. And then skills are also very important. Money is very important. And then government policies and regulation also be very good enabler in this form of society. Then two examples of digital economy I'd like to mention is digital trade. And of course, the second one is digital payment. And I give quite a number of examples of digital trading and of course, digital payment. And more interestingly today is the holographic technology that is very useful in the education system. And this one, I just asked Engagement recently to see how we can use our immersive center to actually implement this technology. So I can give lecture anywhere across the world, as if obviously in that country I believe lecture. So there are quite a lot of interesting and modern technologies that can help us to address most of these challenges. Digital payment, you pay anywhere you buy product, even if you go to store. You don't really have to engage with cashier to make payments. This time I go to Sasa to buy things, I just pay without even engaging with any cashier. So this is the kind of society that obviously we want. And of course, there are many benefits accrued with digital economy. I have quite a lot of them here, but I will not go detail into some of this. But most importantly is that digital economy will ultimately lead to more inclusivity, affordability, cost and accessibility, and supports the sustainable development goals. Now, I've created a framework here that I use to explain Society 5.0. And I'm trying to, we have been applying this concept, but we have not been able to publish it. I'll just hope very soon that we are going to publish it so that people can obviously enjoy the benefits of Society 5.0. Now, two main concepts here are artificial intelligence and digital economy at the base. So this economy, just these two concepts, digital economy and artificial intelligence, will lead to Society 5.0, and that's what we need to focus. So if we are to develop or we are to play active role in Society 5.0, what do we need? I'm proposing that we need two things: artificial intelligence and digital economies, and every other thing, embedded in these two connotations. But first and foremost, government policies and regulation can have impact on the kind of society that we have, or at the level of digital economy and artificial intelligence. And this has to be adequately resolved to ensure that we actually travel to the promised land, which is 35.0 at the apex. Then, digital economy and artificial intelligence has impact on 4 main components. The first one is skill, that I've explained at the beginning. Job, productivity, and of course, wages. So these have impact, but what humans obviously would like to see is their want. People just want job. They don't care about skill. And then once they have job, they want pay, wages, as well the two things. Job and pay. But we are neglecting that want is not as crucial as needs. Needs are more important than wants. Needs are the basics of existence. You cannot survive without needs. So, but why should we emphasize on want rather than need? And then we see skills as needs and productivity. Usually, the question is that, is it possible for us at the level of skills, job, and productivity to have machines and then place man at the wages? That simply means that man will do little to enjoy life on the planet Earth. So he doesn't work much to get salary. And this is one best way to improve the life of human. Do little work, get more salary, so I can live happy. There won't be crime in society because everybody will be contented and comfortable. And this is the future that we want. This is the kind of society where machines will take over the skills, job, and productivity. And of course, with machines, especially those built around artificial intelligence, it is possible for machines to take over these 3 important components. And then man can just be the god of the machines and enjoy life. So this is a framework that I've tested, and we have implemented this framework within our environment. And then as we go on, I'm going to show some examples of how this has been done. So like I said, after digital economy, artificial intelligence is also a very good driver. And then this, because digital economy conjecture that AI will have transformative impact on skills, job, productivity, and wages. And of course, this conjecture has also been revealed by PwC, Pricewaterhouse Corporation AI Job Barometer as follows. They did their research and they analyzed 500 million jobs from 15 countries of the world. And they found that jobs that require AI specialist skill are growing by over 3 times faster than all other jobs. 2, the average wage premium for workers with AI skills will increase by 25%. 3, labor productivity in the AI-exposed sectors, such as the financial services, information communication technology, and professional services, will grow by 5 times. And skills that are demanded in jobs exposed to AI are changing at a rate of 25% higher than AI-led jobs. So it simply means that the future that we are anticipating will obviously be driven by artificial intelligence. Even when you look at digital economy, the foundation of digital economy is also artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence. For example, I give an example of how do we pay, how do I buy product and pay? Do I have to travel far? In 2010, I did a research work that actually says, using mobile phone, anywhere you are, you can have access to all the products you want. In fact, by just pointing to a product, you know where the product lies, very close to you. You make payment, and then the product comes to you. In this meeting now, if we are to be entertained, can we just pay digital currency, for example, and then all of us will just have the mail served on our table without moving away. So this is the kind of society where the man is the king or the lord. The man does little, and everything comes to the head of the man. He enjoys his life. And this is the goal that we emphasize. The question I'd like to pose here is that, is AI the messiah for human challenges? Can we say that with AI, we can remove or we can eliminate all human challenges? And then I'd like to start by discussion with Alan Turing, father of artificial intelligence. He started with this statement. He told his friend, he said, one day, ladies will take their computers for walks in the park and tell each other, my little computer said such a funny thing this morning. And today we have seen not only computers, even animals, baboons, monkeys are obviously living with humans. And they assist humans in the home work. Obviously assist humans, they live happily with humans. So machines will be part of our ecosystem. Machines will be with us. We can ask robots or Pepe to do certain things for us. And then we watch robot Pepe doing such things. So Alan Turing was from the University of Manchester City. University of Manchester in United Kingdom. And in 1950, he actually performed an experiment. And he said he wanted to find out whether machines can think. And then he declared that in 50 years' time, machines will be able to be endowed with some intelligence and behave like human. And in 2000, exactly 50 years after, the scientists from Europe and America started with Robocop project. And then they targeted another 50 years and said by 2050, we will build robots, and by 2050, those robots will play soccer with world champion and defeat the world champion. So from that time up to now, artificial intelligence has become the force we reckon with society. And then almost everything about this society 4.0, 3.0 has changed because of advancement and breakthrough in artificial intelligence. So in 2023, Nature, the leading publisher worldwide, reported that ChatGPT broke Turing test. And then what we should do now is for new ways, find new ways to assess AI capability. And that simply means that if this result is true, which some scientists disagree with, but I'm in the middle, neither disagree nor agree, and I'm going to show to you now. If this is true, it simply means that machines, we can begin to invent machines that can do virtually what human beings can do and what human beings cannot do. For example, we can deploy our machines to go and fight war, and they're against human beings, and not human beings fighting wars against human beings. We can design machines to do virtually almost everything. We can design machines to tell if people are telling lies. I like that because it's supposed to be challenges that we have in the world and we have to address them through not only through education, but also through character. So this result implies that large language models mimic human chatter. And of course, I'm going to show you some examples to demonstrate the capability of artificial intelligence in terms of doing what human beings can do. So just watch carefully and see that the first example here is AI in sports. We can see that AI, robotics, for example, has been tested in virtually all sports area, including my game, table tennis. And I told myself, I said, hey, this guy can actually beat me. So robots can play football. They can play any game, but they can play with humans. They can do virtually any sport. So I don't need a physical human coach anymore. I just ask Pepe to train me how to play tennis and improve my skill. And then that means I can get more wages. So this is one example of where AI has been demonstrated to almost do exactly what human can do. So this is also the application of AI in the industry. For example, robot can ask another robot to test if a car developed is bulletproofing. And then you don't test human being in the car. So the car itself is robot-proof. And the car is driven by robots. And the robot has to say, take on and then shoot. Not human being as a test case. And then you can see them. Robots in industries can work robotics process automation, like the one we have in our advanced workshop. We have some of them in our advanced workshop, where you can design the industry. Robots move products, move items, in production lines. So in farming, robots have also been tested to be highly effective. And one good thing about robots is that they don't get tired like human beings. They don't need food, they don't need water. They can walk as long as you program them. They can walk for 50 days, 2 years without stopping. They can cultivate lands faster than a human being at very high speed. So you can see the way the robot is throwing things. No human being will be able to throw things out to 10 floors. You know, it's not possible. Machine can do virtually what human beings cannot do. So it has been tested. Robots can be employed as domestic workers. You can ask robot to help you read textbook, good voluminous textbook within 1 second explain, and then tell the robot to explain to you what is the key concept. Robots can help you prepare food. Okay, you don't need much domestic worker. You can wash your clothes, iron it, pack it nicely, do virtually almost everything that people can do, but at faster rate and with less cost. Entertainment, dancing, for example. Robot can train people how to dance. Robot can play music. Okay. You can learn from robot. And the good thing about robot technology is that it's based on reinforcement learning, meaning that robots can learn from the environment and improve over time, just like human beings, young children also learn from the environment. And that's the example that we're showing here. Robot dancing and also learning from human, also teaching human to also dance. You can see advancement in e-commerce. Robots are almost like human beings now. And then the development keeps improving. And with time, they will look exactly like human beings and we're not going to differentiate them. So in e-commerce, robots will be waiter, like example you see here, they are waiter in stores. They can help you move around, you know, arrange products, then pack them, and then of course deliver them. Serve you on the table, we don't need waiter. So if this is the kind of job people do, waiter, the next few years, they'll be waiters anymore.
Hey, Robert, were you able to log in into the website?
Oh, how am I supposed to log in? Look, it's asked me to verify if I'm a human. Like seriously, how am I supposed to log in? Look, take a look yourself.
So the first question here is that, are you satisfied that Turing test is broken? So that's the question. One example I'll also show you here. Can you see robot doesn't tell lies? If you were to be human, you will try to break the. So the one way to also solve cybersecurity problem is through robots. Robots is very honest. I will not tell lies, so I'm not going to break. The human being will attempt to break it. So when you are talking about crime and fraud, it comes from women, not from machine. Although people can still program machine, but to have the skill to program machine to actually commit fraud is also not very easy. So it's easier for people to commit crime. It doesn't require any school knowledge or skill. to actually commit crime, but robot, obviously, the program not to commit crime. And that's the way to have a better society. I am not going to log in because I'm not human. And this system is asking me, if you are human, can you log? You should log in, but I'm not human. So I will not try to log in because I'm not human.
Robot, get me some wine.
This one?
Yes. No.
This one?
The other. The kind I like. The kind I like.
This one?
No, let's go back to this one.
You get it yourself.
You can see the robot is angry. The lady in your car, if you say, take me from Durban to Pietermaritzburg, and then the lady tells you, turn left, you turn left. Turn right, you turn right. If the lady tells you, turn left, and then you just proceed, the lady will just keep quiet and say, I'm reaching. And then the root doesn't get angry. But here's an example of robots with emotion and demonstrate emotion. And that's one of the good features of human. Do we really want robots to demonstrate emotion? We don't want robots to be angry and probably take gun and start shooting almost everybody. So this guy in particular is very angry.
Robot, would you come style my hair, please? I have somewhere to go.
You want me to do your hair?
Yes, please.
But you've already been here before.
Yes, but I have an event this evening and I need you to style me. Now, please come.
I did your hair, and you said you liked it.
But I need a new style, Robot. This is an evening event.
Do it yourself.
These pesky robots.
So the robot is very angry. And then if the robot is angry and then take a drone and start killing people, but you can't do that. So this also, and then you can ask whether truly a Turing test has been broken or not. So this is examples of some human behavior that researchers and scientists have obviously demonstrated to actually reason or behave, or machine to behave or reason like human beings. And there are quite a lot of examples, I just pick very few here. Then what is our contribution in this area? In AI, digital society, and I start by saying, I am not aware of a faculty in any university worldwide that has state-of-the-art learning resources like us. Certainly not in Africa. I may be wrong anyway, because of the limitation of human brain and the restricted visibility of human life. So I'm proud myself to say that most of this knowledge I've acquired over time have not only, it's not only on paper, or just talk to them, but we have actually put most of these things into practice in this country, in our university, in our country, and we chose to have, in fact, like many of you here, we know, this faculty is already a training center, who come all over the world, from Europe, from USA, from China. BRICS will be coming here any moment in August. People almost all over the world visit us every time to see the kind of educational resources and how we are transforming and contributing to society. So I want to show you some good examples. Part of 4IR or 5IR or Society 5.0 is strong partnership or collaboration. This faculty alone has more than 40 partnerships. In fact, we call it Quad Helix partnership of industry, government, non-governmental NGOs, and the universities all over the world. Top industries, top universities, and most of the resources and facilities that we have are from the university and all these partnerships. The partnerships will be mutual. So, and many banks are even coming to us now. We want to partner with you. We have this funding for your students. We have this for your students. In the last 6 years or so, we have given student scholarship to the tune of more than 60 million rand. So if you, like most of you here, you are in different scholarship. So if you take 60 million rand multiplied by 78 or 80 in Nigerian currency, you know how much one faculty is generating, and then what impact they are making. And they actually, most these are obviously sources where we get this funding for students and for infrastructure, so and for our growth. Now, this is the Center of Excellence that you are here now, and we are presenting this. You can see that we have world-class resources and our students win national and international awards almost on daily basis. So this is the nature of the infrastructure that we have. The HAM computing, HAM is a HAM only from UK. This is their computing lab, the other side. Luban workshop, so additive manufacturing workshop is like this. And these 3D printers are industry standards. So if our students can use this to build things or create things, it means they can work in any industries across the world. So they are not limited. This is the IoT laboratory or equipment. You can see them here. These are industry automation, ELCO. I was with ELCO in 2019 in China. So I saw most of these things myself. I've been to almost every top institutions across the world, including NICTA, National ICT of Australia. In fact, when I was in NICTA in 2012, I told the director I'm going to replicate what I see, what I have seen here in South Africa. He said, where do you get the money? So now, what we have here is far more than 10 times what NICTA has. So in this, so one day I need to invite the director to come and see himself. Now, this is the plan for this year, where BRICS will be setting up 10 skills training days across the BRICS countries of the world. And the DUT, I think we're also going to have one. So this will be center for BRICS training days for machine learning and big data. So because we are very famous in artificial intelligence. Then we're also refurbishing the Formula One, where our students will be building the electric cars. Those who are, some of you are working electric cars, this is the environment we give them. And then you can do your workshop here and create innovations. And then. So this is MKI, Master Robotics and Smart Laboratories. So MKI, Moses Kotani Institute is sponsoring this. November last year, they gave us 9 million rand, multiplied by 80, that's the Nigerian equivalent. And this is the plan of how the building is just a new project for this year that we're embarking upon. We're also converting our IoT virtual reality lab and drone lab to immersive centers. And it's also a new project. We hope to end this project this year, where all the new latest world technology will be. Like, for example, holograph. Holograph will be here, and then will be in our center. So this is about, how many square meters is this? Over 250 square meters, yeah. Far bigger than this environment. So this is one of the managers in the arm computing. When he came here from UK, it was even last year or so. Now this Accounting Center of Excellence is also a new project we're embarking upon. And of course, we also have implemented some technology. For example, this one. I use this technology almost every time. It's on my phone. I can demonstrate my phone. This is my phone. I have it on my phone, and the Geshnik can also, so this is how it works. So our app, our mobile app is on the mobile phone, and then you can place it in any part of your skin, or your body, anywhere, and then you check whether your body is growing cancer, for example. If it is, very early, you know, and then you can actually diagnose it. I think it's also very interesting. I didn't show many of our products here, developed by our students. This is our new computer. This is what we use our computer. And this product was developed in 2020 during COVID. And then we were able to connect all our students using the devices without a bigger machine, because that time, government actually said, we are going to provide laptops for students to work from home or to work from anywhere. And I didn't believe that any country can provide computer for students to work from anywhere. Even America and Germany cannot do that. And then we came up with this innovation. I was using this one, then connect to internet to this, and then once you have the vision screen, you are on. Now, this is part of impact of our partnership and resources on our student learning. Our focus is on skills and not knowledge. And of course, during COVID, you can see DUT students invented device to cope spread of. There are 10 cloud advocates in Africa, and 2 of them are from this faculty. One is in UK now, and one is in America. And of course, one of our third-year students was in America, was in UK. Is it UK or US? Was in US to actually represent Africa on master's program, master's degree. And at 21, this lady already has a company of her own, and she graduated this year with cum laude, first class in Nigeria. So our students also take part in international championship or competition, because to me, I believe that competition drives innovation, not assessment, not examination. What drives innovation is competition. So in skills, competition is a way to examine whether somebody has acquired skills or not. Examination is the way to acquire whether somebody has knowledge, but in skill, competition. That's why we have World Champion, Olympic, World Cup, and so on and so forth. Teams actually play against each other. So our student team took part in the international competition, skill competition. Out of 78 entries, came top party, and the only university from Africa because of our ideas, what we believe education should look like. So recommendation. So I'm recommending some good strategy here, and I need to explain them one after the other. If policymakers, entrepreneurs, development partners, and ecosystem actors want to play a very important role in industry, in Society 5.0, I'm recommending these few strategies. I don't believe in 100 strategies or multiple strategies. If you want to do 100 things in 1 year or two, for example, you will not achieve the result. So few that actually create impact. The first one is that we must balance innovation thinking. So because like if you look at my framework, and this strategy is based on the framework I developed. So if you look at this framework, government policy is very important, and then we should find ways to balance between government policies and innovation thinking. If you want the nation, if you want the youth to be thinking innovatively and then creating things for the society to grow the economy, to improve the GDP of a country, for example, we must balance innovation thinking with regulatory components that can actually be barriers through some flexible policy framework that embrace AI innovations for socio-economic transformation. So we can't say we want to transform a nation and then everybody's in trade in creativity, innovation, and building things. And then government policy will be barriers. I remember there was discussion here sometimes when the ChatGPT came out, and then the university was thinking of developing, including in our policy, that students should not use ChatGPT because ChatGPT is a means of cheating. And I disagree. I said, no, we can't go there. So I actually advised the university to change the direction. I said it. I was very vocal in that area. And I said ChatGPT was developed for that purpose, to improve student learning, to improve teacher learning. If ChatGPT can pass my examination, then I don't need to be a professor anymore. So ChatGPT should not pass because we know how ChatGPT works. So it's supposed to be a tool. So if you are banning students from using ChatGPT, it's tantamount to stopping them from using calculator to do some simple arithmetic. So eventually, DUT policy didn't. It was changed and reversed. Then the second important point here is that our strategy here is that we must reformulate institutional technology and business strategy. In fact, we need to look at all our strategies now and then try to look at those ones that are actually those ones that have not committed AI application to do so. So reformulate institutional technology and business strategies to embrace several manifold opportunities that are presented by robust AI. So again, we don't just want AI for AI's sake or AI that will destroy things, but we want AI that will improve things. And that's why we refer to as robust AI for progress. Not AI to fight war, not AI to kill people, but AI to actually improve lives and livelihood. And that's what policy should obviously emphasize, and not just AI, but robust AI applications. Then skills, like we have also shared, and of course, these are obviously infrastructure and skills, the main factor of development. So develop human capital by boosting investment. Like I show you, look at all these resources we have. People ask me, where do you get money? I don't think of where we get money. Even when I was in Nigeria for British Council projects, I was in 6 universities in Nigeria recently. Occasionally, you were also with me. And then we travel across 6 universities and to speak on the British Council project to innovate sub-Saharan Africa. Everybody was just asking, where do you get money? I said, money will follow you if you have the right skills. So you don't look for money. Money goes to look for you. And so I obviously you don't look for money. Money looks for you because the people will be coming to you. This year, almost every week we receive several requests almost all over the country and outside the country. So the money will obviously come. So develop human capacity, human capital by boosting investment in digital infrastructure, which is very important. Providing enabling environment must be very good. Everybody went to Nigeria and say, what are we seeing here? I say, yes, we are seeing well on our roads, So we can actually deploy students of architecture on those roads to solve the problem of the well rather than potholes, and then they can fill those potholes and come up with technology. Because when there are challenges are opportunity for what? Innovation. We don't fold our hands and expect government to solve everything. No government in the world can solve every problem. I haven't go to my VC and say, come and solve this problem for me. I have to do that. And these are some of the mindset that we must have in society, mindset of creativity, mindset of making things better for the human, mindset of improving lives and livelihood. So we need very good policy or strategies to develop human capital by boosting investment in digital infrastructure, providing very good environment, and promoting skills development agenda that stimulates creativity and innovation in society. 4th, create a culture of continuously enhancing productivity in society and apply quality data management method with accuracy, privacy, and security consciousness for doing things better. So it is very important to always enhance productivity. Even when we, in fact, I sit in most interviews, what I do for, I don't do for. Somebody has done that. So if I ask you, why do you think we should employ you in this university or this faculty to work for us? You tell me, that's a golden question. And most people are failing. You tell me, my name is this, I graduated from this university, this secondary school, and this team, and then you tell all those stories. It doesn't make sense to me. Because I really want to assess your skills or capability to actually move my faculty to a level that we expect or beyond, and not telling me what knowledge you have. So it's always very important for us to understand that we have to enhance productivity. You cannot be having value when you are in a place for 5 years. Some tell story, I've been doing this job for 30 years, congratulations. But what has happened within those years? What did you contribute? So we must be conscious. You can see my model. My model of digital economy says that skill is the first thing you need, not job. And when you have the skills, you will have several interviews and several jobs. In the last 4 years, I've gotten close to 11 jobs. I didn't pick interest. In fact, some they sent to me. Some people came here and said, Prof, we already gave you a job without interview. I say, I'm not interested. Can you imagine that? So any job that will move me now must be ready to pay to make my pocket big. So it's very important, because if you employ me in your organization, within few days, not months, the organization will change. Productivity. We produce this product, then what next tomorrow? And that is the way we must have the thinking. So we need this kind of culture of creativity, culture of innovation, culture of productivity, not culture of wages. The wages will follow you. And that's my philosophy. Many of you know that in my university. And that's the way we should. So I believe that very strongly, these strategies can really help us to transform our society, to make our society better. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So No, sir. It's okay, let me do this. No, leave it.
Current slide.
It's okay. No.
Don't press play.
Yeah, that's why I have you here. Thank you very much. I mistakenly pressed the wrong thing. Recommendation. Go to recommendation. Sorry for the interlude. Great. Sorry for the interlude. Now, in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, I have expounded on the importance of the digital economy as a growth machinery for improving efficiencies, productivity, lives, and livelihood in Society 5.0. I believe that the digital economy and AI are levers for the realization of the vision of Society 5.0, which is a super intelligent society that promises to resolve many social challenges facing mankind. I've equally explicated numerous examples to illustrate the journey to Society 5.0. And finally, I am persuaded that cogent economic transformation strategy elucidated those ones will benefit policymakers, development partners, entrepreneurs, and ecosystems of actors to play active role in Society 5.0. In conclusion, I would like to acknowledge the following people for assisting me prepare this presentation. Tawani is here. Can you just wave your hand? Tawani is there. Fanny is the boss in this lab. Miss Yugeshni, please raise up your hand. They can see you. Yugeshni is the engagement coordinator for the faculty, and she's the one traveling almost everywhere across the world. She has been to almost every country in the world, almost every time she travels. And she was also in Nigeria in April, May with me. We spent more than 2 weeks. She enjoyed the Iya and Egusi, very nicely, and she enjoyed it. She's very, very exciting lady to work with, very strong and very formidable. Majority of the money here, she's the one bringing it from the industry partners. And so thank you very much for your contribution. And then finally, I want to thank Ms. Lebon Pasha. She's the secretary of all secretaries. So please come here, they can see you very nicely. And that's why you are putting on the same jacket. We always look alike and we are the same height. She's the secretary of all secretaries. So with her, the job is done. Even if I'm not in office for weeks, there's no problem because she handles almost everything. So thank you very much. Yeah, so thank you for also dressing like me. And then I also like to thank everybody, my students. My students are all here. They are 4IR students, and they're also doing great things. And so, and then I also want to thank everybody from Nigeria, from Africa, from all over the world. I'm told people are connected all over the world. Thank you for listening to me, and thank you for watching me. I will allow for questions at the end of my presentation. So I have used some good number of papers. In fact, when I was told I'm going to present within 1 week, I actually downloaded 87 articles to read because I didn't want to assume. This is the mindset I didn't want to assume that I know everything and not also understand what the is saying. So I actually downloaded 87 papers, and out of those 87 papers, I found that the unique ones are 16 of them. So that's why I'm recommending the 16. I'm sure that I'd like to give credit to those who have also supported my concept and my ideas, and thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Yo, what an excellent delivery from Prof. Anyway, I'm not surprised. Prof, thank you very, very much. And I would also like to add that, Prof, when you were, the last time you were in Nigeria, we were discussing, and you said you believe not just in learning, you believe in both character and learning. And I also want to thank you for that foundation that you give some of us, and we really appreciate you. What an excellent superlative, very educative and very informative. Once again, Prof, thank you very, very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for questions and answers. I believe a lot of us have so many things we probably want to clarify, and I'm very sure Prof is more than able and more than available to ventilate any challenge or challenges we may have regarding the subject of digital economy. So the floor is open. The floor is open. Questions, questions, questions.
Okay, Mr. Abiodun, before we go into that, let me quickly recognize some council members that joined. We recognize our past president, Mr. Gbenga Kalade, FCIS, and Mr. Andy Amos, FCIS. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable CEO. So questions from the audience. Okay, someone is raising hand. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and ask your question. The floor is open for you. Go ahead.
Good morning, colleagues. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Good morning. My name is Henry Okafor. I'm calling from FCT Abuja. I want to say a very big thank you to Professor. That was a very, very educating and insightful, very well articulated presentation. It has broadened our minds to our expectations for AI. We believe, we know that AI has come to stay. And yes, your lecture today has just opened our minds more to accepting it and looking towards a future where AI would collaborate with human efforts to, better the economy of our country, Nigeria, and the world economy at large. Um, Mine is not a question; it's a suggestion, so to say. um, I'll be leaping from the recommendation two of Prof in his presentation. He spoke about leveraging AI. I do not remember the exact words, but paraphrasing, spoke about leveraging AI to see how institutions can improve on their process flows and services that they already offer. My suggestion would be directly to this institute that I am a student member of, the Institute of Charter Secretaries and Administrators. My suggestion goes to the point where I'm trying to find the best possible way to make this. So I have a colleague who we commenced the examination to become members together in December of 2023. We took two papers in December and hopefully wanted to take two in June. I wouldn't say unfortunately, she had a very serious business outside the shores of the country at about the same time that the exams were supposed to go on in June. But she was disenfranchised, if I may use that word, from writing in June because we did not have the capacity, or the institute did not provide, did not have the capacity to have persons sit for that exam from outside the shores of the country. Now, my suggestion would be I'm sure this is just one person that I know. I'm sure that there are tons of persons who have been in this situation and because of that reason have, closed the doors on joining this great institute. Can we leverage on AI from the recommendation two of Prof to see how we can improve our service, the institute service, to see specific countries for a start, where we have major migrants from Nigeria, UK, for example? Can we also have an affiliation? The institute also has an affiliation with the United Kingdom. Can we have, for a start, centers leveraging AI where people can, write the exams from outside the shores of Nigeria and, not only removing the aspect of enabling them to join the institute from outside the shores of Nigeria, it will also improve the economy of the institute. The institute had lost the registration fee, which is income and revenue. We are talking about digitizing economy. Revenue to the institute from that lady. And I know that there are tons of others who would have loved to register and sit for that exam, but due to the fact that they had to find themselves outside the shores of the country at that time, could not write, and at the same time has limited or reduced the inflow or revenue that the institute was supposed to have. So it's my suggestion. Thank God we are talking about AI. That is my suggestion, and I'm looking forward to maybe seeing a publication from the institute that yes, we have now commenced cross-border examinations and service orientations, sort like that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Henry. Prof. Hello, Prof.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I can respond.
Yes, okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Okafo. Your position and then your request is also very valid, obviously. The world of today is no longer constrained by distance or space. In fact, when I was explaining some of those digital economy technology, I actually mentioned holographic technologies, one, for example, you can use. So you can actually deliver learning. It's very easy these days to deliver learning ubiquitously or pervasively. So somebody can be anywhere in the world and write from your institute if your students are writing the examination or even taking part in skills in lecture, for example. They don't have to come to you physically. You don't have to travel as a teacher physically. And that's the function of holographic technology. So all you do is not, in fact, the advancement in AI is so mature that virtually everything you need, you just need to understand what technology you need and how to convert technology. So it's very simple. And of course, you can have all your examination writing centers across the world. So using holographic technology, even if they are writing the exam, you can watch them directly from where you are by watching them. And then you don't really need to travel to any country. So it's very possible and it's very easy today. And even there are examination and process software, like the one we use at our university is called proctoring software. Our student can be anywhere and they write the exam. If they cheat, through the software will tell us this response student have cheated, and then they copy from here. And so it's very easy. So with that holographic technology, which I can propose for you, I just ask you to make order form so that we can have them in our massive center. It's very easy to do exactly what you are doing. Then I also like the idea you are suggesting that your business processes and your strategy for the business process and technology utilization should obviously be revisited and then look at those areas of your services that needs improvement, especially in services. Technology is easy to improve services, and those are some of the things you can do in your organization to also make your organization very famous and very effective in the service that you deliver. So they are all very possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof, for that very explicit clarification. There is another person, Mr. Esson Ogunleye. Please go ahead and ask your question. Esson Ogunleye. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much. I'd like to add my voice to the appreciation expressed to the professor. Thank you very much for this great presentation. One thing that runs through my mind during your presentation is the fact that the AI and the digital economy will transform resources and convert it into value creation outcomes and influences the other future economies. I think this holds very strong observation for me. You also gave us examples of what has gone on in different countries, collaborations, partnerships, and all of that. And this has contributed immensely to the attainment of where we are in the journey so far. And I tried to localize this in terms of contributions from Nigeria, because you did explain that premium is also paid on society and environment. One of the biggest issues in Nigeria, as you know, is the question of inadequate infrastructures. Actually, outrightly deficit of infrastructures in so many areas. And because AI and digital economy itself is leveraged on infrastructural development, how much impact do you think this will continue to have in our quest to move Nigeria towards the picture you have just drawn for our observation? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Ogunle. Your observation is very real. Now, fortunately for me, I think I understand Nigeria's situation. I was born, and bred in Nigeria. I grew up in Nigeria. This year I was in Nigeria. I spent over 2 weeks, so I understand Nigeria. Now, I also know that infrastructure is a big problem in Nigeria, especially if you look at the roads, look at electricity. But one thing that I also want you to know is that if things are good, it requires people. And if things are bad, it requires people. Somebody asked me in an interview, and I'll give you that example. He said, Prof. Olu, we have seen many good things you have done for this for this university and for this country at large. Now, if suppose you are the vice chancellor of a university, what would be your vision? I say very simple. I say I don't even need to sleep or pray or think about it. I say very simple. In fact, I have this vision right from when I was in primary school. If I'm the vice chancellor of any university in the world today, I have only one vision. Provide free quality education, university education. They say, how can you do that? You will be very crazy. And I'm going to say, I'm going to do 3 things. First one, the first year of my appointment, I will cancel registration fee. The second year, third year in my tenure, the second thing I will do is that accommodation will be free to pay a cancellation. And then the 5th year, not even more than 5 years, the 5th year, and then feeding will be free. And I'm going to leave a university that is self-sustainable, that I'm not going to create problem for somebody who will come after me. And that's the idea of sustainability. That person who will come after me will not suffer, will not labor. Things is just enjoying the work I've done. Because I'm going to run university as a business model that is self-sustained and generate everything that university needs for itself. My students will be paid salary like some of us. Most of students are being paid. We pay them. We pay them started. Almost all the students I supervise at masters and PhD level, I pay them. I pay for their registration fees. I pay them stipend almost every month. So, and that's the mind of somebody who is a leader. It's very easy. Nigerian infrastructure problem is something that is the simplest I've ever seen, because what you need is the right people with the right mindset. Unfortunately, most of us want to be in leadership position, but we don't know the sacrifice and what we need to do. So if you have the right person in the right position, and then with the right mind and the right character, Nigerian problem will disappear within 1 or 2 years. Everything will be provided. So I've been following Nigerian politics and I monitor. So is the people, is the right kind of person that you need. Politics cannot solve that problem, but you need good human being with God's heart of God, to be able to be in position and know that the reason I'm in this position is to actually solve this problem. And then people should know that just like in this, my faculty is an example of a university, because we have about 10,000 students in this faculty. Anywhere I go, I say, hey, my faculty is bigger than you. And most of the things that we do here, they actually some of my strategies and ideas. So again, if you have the right person and you have the right strategy, you can actually address most of those infrastructural deficiency problems. Because problems opportunities for innovation. So and then if, for example, you are in that position and then you solve that problem, your legacy will remain forever. So I want to be the vice chancellor that obviously across the world that run a free quality university education where students are being paid. Lecturer will never want to leave. I will employ the right kind of people, not people that are very close to me or my friends. The right people can do the job. I'm going to employ them, and I'm also going to deploy technology to also address those problems. So this is the way we can actually transform society. Human element is also very important, and that's what Society 5.0 is saying, that human element is very crucial. The right person who understand the problem and who will be able to solve the problem. And I believe that for me, infrastructure is the easiest thing. I became the dean of this faculty in 2016. I think this is my 8 years. I still have about 4 years more. So if you are doing very well, you spend 2-3 years, they think you are, you'll be there until you don't want it anymore. But what we have done in this faculty today is amazing. And if I'm to estimate how much we have spent here without putting burden on the university, without putting pressure on the university, it's huge. Where does the money come from? You simply have somebody who have mind for creativity, productivity, and growth and development, who doesn't believe in himself, who doesn't believe in enriching himself. So those are some of these serious, character issues that we don't address in Nigeria. And once we address them, in South Africa, nobody is talking about roads. In South Africa, anybody can be president because the person almost doesn't have anything to do anymore. There are no problems that you see in Nigeria here in South Africa. But if those problems are there, do we have our right people? Don't rely on government, because government alone will not be able to do anything. It's the people, not only government, the citizens, the role they play in the society is very important. Most of the things I do here is not the vice chancellor. Vice chancellor will only see me, Olu, thank you very much for what you are doing. Mayor will see me, what you call governor, say thank you for what you did. Minister will come to me and stay in my office from morning to the night and say, Olu, thank you. Whatever you need, just tell us, we provide for you. That's all, because you are already performing. And when you are performing, people come to you, and that's the mindset that is very important. So the Nigerian problem is the people, it's not the infrastructure, because people have to provide the opportunity for the creation of the infrastructure. But then, finally, we will not fold our hands and say, because there are problems in Nigeria, until government solve this problem, we won't do anything. No, individual, people who have idea of what to do, we look for alternative and find solution. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Prof, thank you very much. Definitely, we are still going to bring you back, because we can't finish this thing today. We can't. We are still going to bring you back. Someone is also raising up his hand. Mr. Akim Tairu, you have the floor. Mr. Akim Tairu, go ahead. Please, let's make it very brief, concise, straight to the point, because we don't have all the time. Mr. Akim, over to you. Mr. Akim.
Oh, what's happening? Good morning. Thank you very much, moderator. I want to appreciate Prof for the very insightful and educative paper he has presented this morning, and by extension to the Institute for these contemporary papers that is very, very germane and apt these days. Prof, my own is not a question, but as a member of the Institute, I have accounting background, and I'm an ICANN member in practice. With this artificial intelligence era we are now, can you suggest or recommend to me any application or software that will assist my service delivery? Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Cairo. And in fact, this faculty is Faculty of Accounting and Informatics. So we also have Professor Marimutu is not here, Professor Swanipo is not here. We have quite a number of our. Well, Professor Swanipo is on the line. So I'm not sure whether Professor Marimutu is online, and then many of our accounting gurus are also here. One thing we have done now is to say that this faculty should be one unique faculty across the world, where we are able to integrate ICT in accounting artificial intelligence in particular. And the reason we have Accounting Center of Excellence, which I show you just the other side, is because we want, if you train students today in accounting, and then they graduate with knowledge of ICT, those students are marketable, obviously. So, and what we have done is to have quite a number, because my interest in accounting, for example, is in auditing. I have interest in, fraud detection in auditing. And what I can tell you now is that I've developed some algorithms, for example. If you take your general ledgers in accounting for many years across all the industries, what do internal auditors normally do? They just scan through few documents and then they assume there's no problem with your accounting in terms of fraud. That's not be very good. If you have 1 million record or general ledger, there are quite a lot of tools, but we can also write very simple algorithm to digitize all those general ledgers online and then run our algorithm. And then our paper, my robots here, can tell us which particular ledger is in fraud, for example. So fraud detection is one of the things I like. Combining IT, the accounting, to actually do, to actually check if documents in fraud. So I'm not sure, you can give your email address to Oluwaseyi, and then we can ask you to engage with our professors of accounting, and then we can also create quite a number of software for you, depending on your service, what you do, for example. If you can tell me a particular service you do, then we'll find a tool that can really help you to actually improve your service delivery. But more importantly, we need to understand the kind of services that you offer and then how you can enhance. So we can engage further. And I will be more interested in actually having you. In fact, we can even invite you to come and be with us for 1 week here, and then we engage. And then because people have been coming almost every year to engage with us and see how we can really help you. Professor Swanepoel, Professor Stomke is here, and Professor Stomke is one of our strong professors with a background in accounting and ICT. Professor Marimutu is also there. So we have quite a lot of them here. They will be able to assist you. And then through that partnership and collaboration is really very important. In academic, many years ago, you either publish or perish, but today we have changed the slogan to you either collaborate or you collapse. So if you don't collaborate, you just collapse. So partnership is also very important, and I won't mind having that partnership with your institute, and then we can work as a team. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Someone is also asking a question here. The person said, Prof, what strategic role can AI play in governance in the future? What strategic role can artificial intelligence play in governance in the future?
Okay, so now I think I have some video. I think it's in Japan or China. There are humanoid CEO today. So tomorrow we're going to have humanoid president. And we have to vote for humanoid president because humanoid president, and we call those applications humanoid. I watch humanoid CEO online and in a meeting. And then the humanoid CEO arrive faster before any other person. That's one of the advantages of robots. So if you have a meeting by 10 o'clock and the CEO, who is the chair of that meeting, arrive faster before you, what will you do? You also want to arrive faster. Because the CEO will not wait, people will not wait for the CEO to come 1 hour after the meeting starts. So the meeting there. And this CEO conducted the meeting very nicely. That's robots, robots. So tomorrow, in future, if our country is having a problem and then service delivery is very poor, we just ask robots to be our president. What is wrong about that? Or robot will be advisor to our president. It's just like people say ChatGPT. Because if you want to make any strategic decision, the robot is there to advise you and make those decisions there. And we have seen leaders, presidents all over the world. Most of the challenges they have is one simple decision that they got wrongly. They just make one decision that is wrong, and then the whole country go into trouble. So the robots, ChatGPT, for example, or even better ones, your robot will advise you, President, Mr. President, sir, this decision you are making, this is the consequence. It will tell you what will happen in the next 10 years future. You can predict, and that's why we believe in the power of AI. It can also do prediction. You know, it can tell you this decision you are going to make. This is the implication. This is what you should not do. This is why you should not do it. So it can be as a special advisor, not special advisor like we have today, who will mislead the president because of political reasons, but special advisor that will be able to advise president or CEO or manager in the organization and on the right decision, because most of the challenges that we make, simple decision can ground the economy of the nation. And that's where AI will be very useful as advising, advising role, humanoid, guidance. You can take those guidance. So in your room, and then you plan, you hold meeting, there are decisions you want to make, you agree with that decision. AI will be there to support you and say, no, this is the implication of this decision, don't go for it. You can change this decision. That's all. So because we also need good wisdom and knowledge as leaders to manage our system. And that knowledge and wisdom can come from AI. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prof. As an extension to that question, the person is also asking that as governance professional, what skills do we need to, what skills, or what are the skills or necessary skills that we need to be compliant with the digital economy 5.0 of this generation? What are those skills that are required if we actually want to be compliant with
Yeah, I have my team here. Professor Laika is one of those teams working with BRICS. BRICS already decided that we are creating future skills. But I was also a member of the MIC CITA for the country, where we have actually, created some skills that we obviously want to look for, or we want to train. And some of our students are already in those cases. So our BRICS Center, training-based center, for example, we focus on artificial intelligence and big data. So when with those skills, for example, these are future skills that we need. We need those future skills because we know that in some few years ago, most of these jobs that we do today will obviously will not be there anymore. Most of them will not be there. These skills will, and from the example of the films I show you, you can see how we even engage robots and machines, in some of the things that we do. So new skills will come up, for example, and those skills will be will be mainly on decisions, decision skills. And people have not obviously, spoken about that. For example, leaders need skills to make good decisions, for example, while other people might just need skills in like big skills, for example, cybersecurity. I think eventually cybersecurity is one of those future skills that we want. And more importantly to us is machine learning and big data. Yeah. AI, because in future, we have seen that in future, data will become very strong economic force. That people can begin to buy data, sell data, get hidden pattern from data, get decisions from data that you don't even know exist. And that's why we see that our discipline is very important. And this is the features that we are building in this laboratory and some of our laboratory, machine learning, and so they are really very good skills. Again, some of the previous skills obviously may also be very important, but the only one I see very important here is decision skill. To make decisions at the right time, especially for leader, is very important. But at the level, at the other level, some of there are quite a lot of those feature skills that we have crafted. I was involved for crafting for the nation, and some of my professors were involved for crafting those feature skills. Call them feature skills. And then you can see some of them online, feature skills for the BRICS nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Richie, Mr. Richard, you've been raising up your hand since. You have the floor.
Okay. Thank you. Am I audible, please?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you very much. And I thank Prof. I think I've seen a lot of profs, but you are one of the best profs that I can, I can suggest to others. I'm not just kidding. You're full of wisdom. Thanks for such a powerful, scintillating, calculated, and fantabulous presentation. I think the presentation is not only tailored for the needs of Nigeria, but for the entire Africa and the world, if I'm right. So most of the the personnel on the platform are from Nigeria, so they always asking towards Nigeria. But let it be open because we are all Africans. And I think I'll also get some of this knowledge and push it to my fellow Ghanaians and my fellow Americans also out there. Prof, with all due respect, I don't want to miss an iota of your destiny, but for some challenges, I missed the first 10 minutes. So is it possible you can give me with a sentence or a summarized paragraph what or to highlight what economic digitization is all about, the 5.0? And before you answer, I just want to say that I like this quote of yours, that problems are opportunities for innovation. Thank you. God bless you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Richie. And of course, thank you for the commendation. I really appreciate your commendation. In fact, 2019, I was in China. 2019, I was in China. And I gave a presentation on how we are going to change education paradigm across Africa. And when I finished, they brought Professor Joan to me and said, look, not only in Africa, what you also get is what we also embrace in China. Then we call that paradigm is called EPIP. And that's what we use in this center. And then we decided we are not going to focus on the skill training, on knowledge training. We are going to focus on skills training. And then when our students start learning by true skill, we can find the right theory to explain what they have done. So what I'm trying to show this present is that human beings, there are quite a lot of challenges facing human beings. And those challenges are becoming even more newer because of our political situations across the world. Many years ago, for example, maybe the only transportation problem they had that time was just two: agriculture, let's feed people; transportation, let's move from one place to another. And then as a result of those two problems, there are different types, varieties of food. And then there are different varieties of transportation. People were actually moving from one country or from one city to another, by riding on horses or donkeys. And that was a piece of transportation. But those who were very comfortable that time, nobody thought of aeroplane, nobody thought of cars, and so on and so forth. But things have changed now. We have moved from one generation to another through human productivities, and they have, because human beings want to make their society, their environment to be better. You want to live in a good house, you want to eat good food, you want to ride good cars, you want your roads to be good, and that is what human obviously human. But the society that we have today also comes with quite a lot of challenges. Health issue, for example, during the time of Adam and Eve, people lived up to 900 years. If you agree with me, there's somebody in the Bible who spent 999 years. Today, if you live 80 years, you will be very fortunate. Why? Because of our environment, environmental pollution. So we want green economy, green innovation, because of several other issues, healers, and so on and so forth. And then we are looking at all this. Some people are poor. People have been poor in the past, but the standard of living was not as bad as we have it today. People are very poor. You go almost everywhere, even in South African street, from one robbers to another. You see people on the road begging for food. You go to Nigeria, it's the same story. I was in UK. People were also begging money from Africa, from black person, from Africa. So poverty is almost everywhere, very pervasive. And some people are getting more poorer and poorer, while some are getting more richer and richer. Wealth concentration. So, and then we assemble all these problems and say, look, how can we make this planet Earth to be better for human life, for us to live and not labor? How can we improve life and livelihood of people? And then we say United Nations came with some goals, something the goal. That if we can implement these goals, then our nations, our countries, our world will be more sustainable. So, and then I say, okay, we call this society Society 5.0 because it's based on intelligent application of intelligent technologies. How can we use technologies and good education and skill to help mankind? And I said there are two things you have to look for to achieve or to realize this society that we want. a better place where there's no discrimination, where a black and a white children attend the same schools and live happily, where there's peace, where there's no political turmoil. How can we have a better environment for us? That was the goal. And I say artificial intelligence and digital economy can really help us. And then when we digitize our economy, what do we mean? We are simply saying that the economic processes of production, you produce product and services, you distribute product and services, you also consume product and services, and then you also trade, you buy and sell. If we can look at all of these processes and then digitize them to make life easy for mankind. For example, I sit down here, I just take my app, order for food for my students and my staff. Within a few minutes, the food comes. It's faster than when you go to say, okay, let me go and make food so that people can eat. And then it should take 3 or 4 hours to go and make that food. How can we improve life of the people? I was in China. We went to buy some things in store. And then I went there with my credit card. And then in front of me was a Chinese lady. And that lady just moved very close to the machine, face recognition. And then she made payment. So that is done less than 2 seconds. But when I'm from Africa, I went there with my credit card. I said, so this thing doesn't have to enter PIN that she might even forget. By simply moving very close to the machine, gone. I went to the gateway just last week to buy something. And then we move all the product and then put it in just in one hole. And then machine asks us to insert our card. Less than a few minutes. Nobody at the gate asked me, what are you carrying? Before they will ask you, let's check you. You know how many hours you use in the airport when you are moving from one country to another? They will even ask you to pull off your pint before and then check everything about you. With technology, you don't need to do that. I just move past straight. So this is the way we can improve, and that's what this presentation is all about. And I say in summary, digital economy, artificial intelligence, these two forces will help us to arrive at the journey of digital society 5.0. And I say there are 4 main components there. To get there, we need skill. Okay, we need skill, job, good job. We need to be very productive, and then so that the money can come. We should not think in terms of job and money, which everybody is in. If you finish from university, you're looking for a job and you want salary, but it goes beyond that. First, you must acquire the right skills that can help you to get a good job, that can help you to be more productive, and then it can help you to get better. And that's the summary of my presentation. Thank you very much, Richie.
Yes, Prof, as a follow-up to that, somebody's asking, how do educational psychologists and legal practitioners remain relevant in the digitized economy?
Yeah. Because maybe you can say that teachers, we don't need teachers anymore. And that's what I portray when people say we don't need ChatGPT. Because ChatGPT, we have seen ChatGPT, the generative AI, for example, pass MBA exam in India, pass MBA exam in South Africa. Then I said, those exams are irrelevant. And then we design our magazine. And then we put an open problem in our magazine with a price tag. And then we ask people, you can consult ChatGPT. And I said, if ChatGPT can solve this problem, I told our journalist, our press person in faculty is Lamini. Mr. Lamini, please can you raise up your hand? She published the magazine, she's our press. And I said, if anybody in South Africa, in Africa, in the world, can actually solve this problem within 1 month, I will drop my professorship. So if this is the kind of education we give, then education practitioner will still be very relevant. But if they give education that students can find the answer using ChatGPT or online, then we have to close the walls of the university. We don't need anything. Students will just stay at home and write exam, we'll give them their degree straight away. In fact, I'll be one of the teams to give them the degree. Because that's what education is saying. Education is no longer knowledge, it's now skill. And that's why we have our model that we adopt, our education paradigm now in this university is engineering practice innovation project, together with China, which emphasis is more on skill. What can you do, not what you know. What you know is knowledge. That does not give you job or cannot help you to create job. But what you can do is skill. And skill can help you to create job and even give you job. And that's the emphasis. So we have changed our paradigm for education. And that's why I'm still very relevant as professor. Because if I come to my student, I move them to another level. And that is what skill, tells you. The knowledge simply means that you can know the rules of football. The coach, all the best coach in the world, Pep Guardiola, Moreno are your friend. You eat with them, you drink with them. Messi is your best man for your wedding. That does not make you a footballer. What makes you a footballer is for you to actually go on the field and practice. Break one of your leg or two. They admit you in the hospital. You recover, you come back and practice again. Practice. When you practice, then you acquire skills, and then you can do things. And that is the paradigm. So if your paradigm of education is vocational oriented or skill-based learning, then you cannot be replaced by any machine or any robot or anything other than yourself. But what will happen is that in the new ecosystem or in the new society, your job will change. For example, you will have a better job. You can be the one supervising all those robots. You can be the one telling them what to do. So you will now be adversarial. Everybody will have become manager who will now instruct some machines to do some work. And then you'll be paid for better job. Decision makers, CEOs are better paid than those who are doing the real job. But now, can all of us be at that level? That's what I was proposing, that can we ask machine to stay at layer 1, 2, 3, and then place human beings rather than having human beings in those lower layers? So if you place human beings at higher layer, it means the job they do attract more wages, average wages, than what they've been doing before. In fact, I had one of my friends in 2066. And then I engaged him. He was a cashier in a bank. And then when we discussed, he told me, he said, hey, I'm just trying to register for my degree. I didn't have degree. I was working in this bank with a grade 12. I said, you better do that very fast. I said, if you don't do that, you will lose your job very soon. And this person went to university to do degree. Few years later, you can't find cashier in any bank anywhere in the world. They're collecting money from you or giving you money. You just walk straight to your ATM machine, or you can even send your e-wallet, for example, and the money is delivered. And that's what I say. But that guy now is one of the FNB, is one of the guys in their research center. Those guys who are now telling FNB, this is where you need to go if you want to sustain your credibility across the world. And that's why FNB, for example, now have competent staff who actually make FNB one of the best banks across the world. So can you understand that? So your role will change. So there will be role change, but not that job will be taken away from what will not be relevant, but the role will be. But if you don't acquire the right knowledge, or sorry, the right skill, then we might ask you to just go and retire. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. I think that's all we have for today. I will hand over to Mr. Okunaye, our CEO. Mr. Okunaye, over to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, sir.
During the presentation, we also had some people that joined us, 2 council members, Mrs. Benedicta Shadari. We also want to recognize Mrs. Marilyn Eze. Then the chairman of Lagos chapter, Ms. Efosa Ewere. Thank you. I want to quickly respond to Mr. Henry Okafor in Abuja. He talked about the ability of the institute to conduct exams online. I want to confirm to you that the institute is already considering that. And part of the things we've done is that our lectures are now done virtual, and we are considering steps and logistics that would enable us to have our exams online. So thank you so much for your comments. At this point, I'll be inviting our amiable Vice President, Mrs. Uto Upana, for the vote of thanks, after which we will have a photograph session that will require everybody to turn on the camera. Thank you so much, Madam VP.
Thank you very much. I just want to check that you can hear me.
We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. I join everyone to really appreciate the sectoral group for this wonderful, wonderful session. And so on behalf of the President and Chairman of the Governing Council of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN, and also the entire Governing Council, I want to thank all participants. And if you don't mind, if you can go to your reactions button and just also share your reactions, clap, thumbs up, whatever reaction you want to give for this very, very enlightening and insightful and educative session on digitization of economy in society 5.0. You will agree that society requires us to reframe the relationship between technology and society and technology-mediated relationships between individuals and society. Before I proceed, I want to especially thank our President and Chairman of Council for putting together the sectoral groups. We can now see the benefits because we're being very granular across sectors. So Madam President, thank you for this wonderful, wonderful initiative. We're all reaping the benefits of having more granular touch points across sectors. I want to acknowledge the Honorary Treasurer of the Institute, Mr. Francis Olawale. Thank you very much for joining and always participating in our affairs. I also want to acknowledge the immediate past president, Mr. Gbenga Taiwo Owokalade, my apologies, FCIS, who also joined the session. I also want to acknowledge and thank members of council in no particular order who have joined. I will start with the one that I call Veteran Elder, Mr. Dele Togunde, FCIS, Mr. Andy Amos, FCIS, Ms. Ronke Okpajobi, FCIS, Mrs. Marilyn Eze, I can see her, FCIS. Thank you for joining. Mrs. Benedicta Shadare, FCIS, Elder Babatunde Pelewura, FCIS, who wears two caps today because he's also chairman of the Institute sectoral groups. Thank you very much for your guidance and support to the sectoral groups. I cannot but acknowledge and thank our registrar CEO and his team. When we started out, the president observed that he was alone. And I see that as the session progressed, members of the management team at the Institute left their different offices to join him in the council chambers. So well done to you, CEO, and members of your team throughout our Institute. Let me really give big kudos to the digital economy sectoral group under the chairmanship of Mr. Oluseyi Abiodun, FCIS. We really needed this, and of course, ably supported by the vice chairman of the sectoral group, Mrs. Fumilayo Willoughby, FCIS, and of course, members of the sectoral group, too numerous to mention. You have done really great today. Please, once again, to all the participants, put your reactions as I thank Professor Olubara. Prof, you have really gone very granular. As it was said, just the amount of time that we gave you was really insufficient to really interrogate all the issues. As someone in IT, I know how pervasive and how the level of depth you have gone through today. Thank you very much, sir. And I also want to extend the appreciation of our institute to all the members of your very knowledgeable and experienced team. You did introduce some of them in the course of your presentation. We want to thank them for making today quite a very, very insightful and useful session. Prof eloquently articulated the subject matter in a manner that's very simple, in fact, and very easy to understand. And of course, as the professor that he is, he left sufficient time for Q&A, and the Q&A session became another session within a session. And we have all benefited. And so thank you very much, sir. During the Q&A, you provided additional information and also clarified those areas where participants wanted further clarification. It is very clear that, as you mentioned during your presentation, that the digital economy will lead to more inclusivity. This is even more visible in economies like ours that's still evolving. And during your presentation, you did give examples of some of these impacts, for instance, digital trade and payments, which of course, in this economy as ours, we're beginning to really see that. Back in the day when before I joined banking, we had things like tally numbers, which evolved, and now you can sit wherever you are and process transactions. So thank you very much. You, throughout your presentation, made an emphasis on developing a solution mindset, and of course, emphasize the role of citizens in nation building. As governance professionals, this is an opportunity for us to participate in that space and ensure that we provide those solutions that lead to sustainable governance across sectors in the various areas where we operate. And there are two key concepts, digital economy and artificial intelligence. And you noted also in your framework the impact of government policies on society 5.0. And in that framework, it highlighted the significance of needs such as acquiring skills, relevant skills, and which will result in increased productivity. I would just like to share a few tidbits before we close that I took away with me. You note that there are certain elements that will drive social innovation in Society 5.0. And this includes data, information, and knowledge. And you kept emphasizing this. I think these are takeaways for us as governance professionals. And of course, you showed us visuals, how AI has been integrated into sports, industry, entertainment, e-commerce, and so on. And those visuals were really useful because it actually practicalizes for us what it means. And also, you noted the responsible use of artificial intelligence, as well as other technology channels as well. I want to really say big kudos to Durban University of Technology for the milestones achieved. Prof, you shared the innovations, the achievements, and the advanced technology at the Durban Institute of University of Technology. And of course, we see how the technology that has supported these achievements and milestones. I also I want to refer participants to the recommendations that you made. And I know that your presentation will be shared. So I urge all participants to note those recommendations that are in Prof's presentation. Finally, let me express our appreciation to all our members across all our chapters in Nigeria. I noted that some chapter chairmen are present and they have been acknowledged. I want to acknowledge Mrs. Efosa Ewere and Mrs. Chinorem Ememebong, who I saw, and by extension, other chapter chairmen who joined and all our members across the chapters in Nigeria. We will not forget our members in diaspora. We can see the usefulness of technology and digital channels in ensuring that people are not left out in our webinars. And so we thank you for our members in diaspora. For some, it's really early, but you joined. We're also grateful for non-members who have joined. And we want to encourage you to explore membership of ICSAN. You can get information from our website and of course through all our social media channels. You can also reach out to the registrar CEO or any member at the Secretariat for information on how to become a member of our institute. I want to thank our media partners who, without them, a lot of the publicity would not happen. So thank you for also joining. I invite participants to join us tomorrow once again, the 20th of June, 2024 at 11 a.m. for another impactful session. This time, it will be hosted by the governance practitioners, a webinar that will focus on sustainable corporate governance practice, imperatives for practitioners. And so please do not fail to join us. The information is on our websites and all our social media handles. Once again, to everyone that has joined, I know that for those in Nigeria, after 2 days public holidays, today is the first day back at your offices. So for you to have dedicated over 2 hours to join this session, we cannot thank you enough. So thank you for your time and attention, and God bless our institute.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. It's time for the photograph session. So we all need to turn on our cameras. Photograph, yeah. Turn on your cameras.
Whilst we're still trying to do that, Registrar CEO, please, Mr. Anthony FCIS is also in attendance.
Okay. Mr. Tony, okay.
Oh, thank you very much, Madam President.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Gigi. Yeah, I've seen with Gigi. So
Done. Thank you.
So, thank you so much. Hope to have you tomorrow again. Thank you. It is with virtual. Thank you. National.
God bless Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.